And we're back, guys. How's everyone doing? Team USA takes the United Cup. This video is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use to Fair Dealing and the Digital Millennium Act. Coco Gauff, it felt like at one point she had the world on her shoulders, at least for the American tennis scene. Remember a time where Coco Gauff stepped on the court at only 15 years old at Wimbledon to face one of her idols, Venus Williams? She was labeled the future of American tennis, but she went through a phase where, although being one of the most accomplished teenagers on this current tour, she received a lot of criticism, right? People wanted her to win now, instantaneously. She would make 2 Grand Slam final appearances, winning one of them before the age of 20 years old, and still the haters would continue to come for her. Struggling on the serve, harsh criticism on the forehand. In my personal opinion, aside from the double faults under new coaching, I don't think any of it was justified. Look at her accomplishments. The most master 1,000 wins as a teenager in the history of the tour. That's right. Name another person. There's none. Coco Gauff has so many records going back to being the youngest at the time to win the Orange Bowl, one of the youngest players of all time to win the French Open. Coco Gauff had a lot of pressure on her shoulders, even when Serena Williams said, "I was never that good at the age of 15 years old." We are reaching a point on the tour where I personally feel Coco's going to take over. Now, I want to talk a bit about Iga Swiatek and some of the things I noticed in the matchup last night. I noticed the things that I've previously discussed, they're starting to come true. Right now, I talked about Iga Swiatek, how she had a brutal foot injury in juniors. A lot of people thought she would never even play professionally. She had a serious injury she had to overcome. She overcame it, but that took a lot of hard work, right? And I've said, I'm on the record saying this, my personal opinion, I feel with all the hard work that Iga Swiatek has put into her lower body, her legs for that recovery, I personally feel, and if you've played athletics, you know what I'm talking about. When you set a goal, when you want to improve your body, your conditioning, aside from your natural ability, when you want to strive to get better, it takes a lot of hard work, right? One of the reasons Kobe Bryant, rest his soul, said he had to walk away from the game was the training became too much for him. Waking up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 3 a days when it comes to training. He said his body couldn't take it anymore. Iga Swiatek during that 22 season, coming off of the 21 season where it's documented, right? A lot of the professional players, the Hall of Famers, the analysts said, look, she's the worst player at this WTA finals. She came back into that 22 season. She worked extremely hard. She got to the top, and I felt she set the bar, right? I felt the tour wasn't ready for what Iga Swiatek had, right? I'm not sure what the ladies were doing on their offseason, but Iga Swiatek was working hard, and she set the bar really high. When you're at the top, there's nowhere to go but down, and it's very tough. It's very stressful to maintain that level of play. We're at a point where the tour has caught up with Iga Swiatek, and then you factor in the allegations. That doesn't help, right? Off the court, there's a lot going on. There's a coaching change. But one of the things I said true, it looks like it's starting to come true. And again, this is my personal opinion. Iga Swiatek, in my opinion, she looks bottom heavy. Her legs look really heavy. Did you guys watch that workout video that she did with Aryna Sabalenka? If I were Iga Swiatek, I would have never participated in that. Iga Swiatek and Sabalenka, they had like a competition in footwork drills. It was friendly. You know, it wasn't like it was a real match or anything. But Sabalenka outworked her. In my opinion, go watch it. Sabalenka posted the video. I would have never allowed a video like that to come out because everyone else on tour is gunning for Iga Swiatek, right? She set the bar the last couple years on the tour. And last night, we've seen the future of tennis, as I've been stating for a very long time. Iga Swiatek, in my personal opinion, A lot of the things I've said have come true. She looked exhausted last night. Her stamina did not look good. She was using a lot of the service clock, and we can go back to the match with Elena as well, using a lot of the service clock. And I personally feel as she continues to age and she gets into her mid-20s, 25, 26, I think matchups with Coco are going to be very extremely lopsided. 2-set matches like the last couple have been. And I think bagels and breadsticks will eventually start to happen. Watching last night's match, Coco returning was just so comfortable. Iga Swiatek was dealing with a lot mentally. And I think, this is my opinion, I think she's realizing, because Coco was dictating everything last night. I think Iga's realizing Coco is superior in just too many areas. Footwork, speed, defense. Look at the forehands. The forehand speeds last night, both ladies stepped it up, and Coco still had the edge in power and forehand and accuracy. Backhand's not a question. We all know Coco has a better backhand. She's got the best backhand on tour. But here's one thing that's going to get Coco multiple championships: mental toughness. Last night, Coco had the mental toughness edge. When she got broken, and this crowd was so loud, Maya couldn't take it. When Coco got broken, she broke back like it was nothing. The crowd was cheering for Coco. And this is the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. I told you guys Coco and Team USA would win the United Cup. Coco's going to win the Australian Open. I don't think Sabalenka is going to challenge Coco. Look at last year's match at the Australian Open with Sabalenka. 6-5, up 30. 30 love. Coco had the chance to take that first set. Put this year's Coco, this version of Coco, in that same match. Coco wins the Australian Open. I think she destroys Kinwin. Now, Kinwin has improved over last year, but I'm concerned with Kinwin because Pierre's not going to be there. Riba's not going to be there. Okay, unless something drastically changes, right? He's having an operation, surgery. I don't know if it's done yet, but he's not scheduled to be with Kinwin at the Australian Open unless something changes. I think that's going to affect her in match as well, because I've said all the time, I think Ribas is one of the best in-match coaches along with Stefanos. I do think Pierre, the way he motivates players, and I think that's a big reason. I think Brad Gilbert's an amazing coach, but he just wasn't a good fit for Coco. I think Riba was a very good fit for Coco, and him being that cheerleader on the sidelines gave her that mental confidence to get through those tough matches and go on that historic 23 run, double-digit win streak, DC, Cincinnati, the U.S. Open. A lot of that was his coaching, right? I think Kinwin's going to suffer. Who in the draw is going to beat Coco? Who in the top 10 is going to beat Coco? It's amazing, guys. We've watched her struggle and deal with so many issues. We've watched the haters come out. And what you guys don't realize is supporting Coco, I get a lot of hate behind the scenes. But I continue to support Coco because I know what I see and I know what I believe in. I get a lot of hate. And this is why I tell you guys, I don't do this for likes, views, or money. Because if I did, I'd let the negative energy come through. And these videos they'd be doing 10, 20,000 like all these other channels. But I'm not here for that, guys. At some point, integrity has to outweigh money. And that's why I don't allow the negativity to come through. There's so much negativity behind the scenes. There's so many haters. And look, I don't think they're real tennis fans. I just think they have issues in their own personal life that they want to take it out on this very amazing player here. But yes, behind the scenes, it's brutal. And that's why I don't do this for money, or I would let all of this hate and nonsense come through. It's not allowed here, guys, because these players, even Iga, Coco, they're all amazing. But I'm just so proud of Coco. She's worked so hard, and the hard work. She's dealt with so much. She helps so many people. And I'm just so proud of her accomplishments, guys. Drop a heart in the comments, guys. If you're a Coco fan, if you're a tennis fan, an Iga fan, drop a heart in the comments because we just want to spread love and positivity. Coco Gauff, the future of tennis. Amazing performance last night, guys. Mentally, I've never seen this version of Coco, and this is very scary. Nothing's bothering her on the court. She's calm, she's focused, she's cool, she's relaxed, and she's playing some lights-out tennis. The errors last night, 32-18, unbelievable. She dominated aces, first serves, and that's Team USA. Congratulations, guys. Taylor Fritz, amazing job as well. Danielle Collins, a big support from the bench. for Coco. She's a good friend, a great big sister. Danielle Collins is amazing, and so is this entire USA team. Let's get ready, guys, for the Australian Open qualifiers. Alicia Parks, she's going to be taking on Marion Bjorklund. She's had a lot of injuries the last couple seasons, but she's a very good shot maker. Doesn't have the power really to hang in there with Alicia Parks, but she is a good shot maker. She's going to get balls back and challenge Alicia Parks to step up and be consistent. That's going to be a good match. But Australian Open qualifiers starting now. I will be covering the Australian Open, of course, guys. Stay tuned. Tennis in a minute. I was going to bring you guys a prediction video, an official in-studio video between Coco and Iga. Of course, my pick was Coco. But, yeah, I didn't have enough time yesterday. But I had something nice planned. But, hey, maybe next time. Tennis in a minute. Drop a heart for all of these tennis players. We'll be back, guys.